Double-barrel Glock 17 and 18C. Just by looking at this gun, it's clear why it's featured in our video. The reason lies in its unique design. These gas pistols are designed using a lot of patented elements. For example, a double frame, a double barrel, a double trigger, and more. The caliber of both models is 6mm. The double magazine holds 50 rounds of ammunition, 25 on each side. The only difference between the double-barrel Glock 17 and 18C is that the first gun fires only in semi-automatic mode. The second gun can be switched to fully automatic mode as well. Hikvision Drone Defender. Statistics show that the number of drones worldwide has more than tripled in the last 5 or 6 years. This applies to the use of both industrial and amateur drones. And while some people are having fun recording beautiful views with their drone, others are trying to figure out how not to let these drones in places where they should not fly. Hikvision is a Chinese company that manufactures and sells a variety of surveillance equipment. Its specialists have come up with a way to safely remove a drone from an unwanted zone, or at least force it to land. The product comes in 2 models. The first device is operated manually. You have to take it in your hands, turn it on, and then aim it at the drone flying nearby. It's noteworthy that there are 2 modes of operation. In the first mode, the device suppresses the signal coming from the operator's remote control. Almost all modern drones behave similarly in this situation. They return to the starting point using GPS coordinates. This is how the drone leaves the unwanted zone. In the second mode, not only the signal from the remote control is silenced, but also the satellite signal. In that case, the drone is just forced to land. The operating principle of the second model is the same. The only difference is that it doesn't need a person to work. The system detects the drone itself and then forces it to land or go back to its owner. Hikvision has created the Drone Defender to effectively protect airports, prisons, sports event arenas, and other places where drones are not allowed. Tracking point rifles. In 2012, the precision-guided firearms system was introduced to the world for the first time, and expectations were high. Specialists of the American company Tracking Point managed to create a smart aiming system, which potentially should have taken weapons to a whole new level. And indeed, a few years later, a small arms complex created on the basis of this innovative system was shown. Today, a rifle with smart aim can be ordered by anyone with a corresponding permit. However, it will cost at least $7,000. Nevertheless, this price is more than justified. Among amateurs, these arms are considered controversial. Some even say that PGF rifles are for cheaters. That's because the aiming system is very complex. By the way, that's why it's so expensive. Amazingly, the system itself determines the position of the target and the distance to do it in an extremely precise way. Calculation of corrections required for error-free shooting is done automatically. The system includes 2 video cameras with a set of specialized filters, laser ranging device, screen, and sensors. The built-in computer manages to collect information about the surrounding conditions, such as the speed and direction of wind, temperature, and pressure. All the shooter needs to do is point the weapon at the target, acquire it, get corrections from the system, and then pull the trigger. It's almost impossible to miss. WMUT. The next item in our video today is the winner of the Squad Multipurpose Equipment Transport tender held by the US Army a few years ago. The participants had to develop and begin supplying ground robots suitable for transporting weapons, ammunition, provisions, and equipment. General Dynamics Land Systems presented the WMUT wheelbase robot, and experts loved it. The name stands for Weaponized Multi-Utility Tactical Transport. The robot shown meets all the requirements. It has a payload of 544 kilograms, the ability to work 72 hours continuously, and to cover 96 kilometers with a full tank. In addition, the vehicle is capable of operating in two modes. It either moves reacting to commands from the control panel and operator, or moves independently behind the soldiers of its division. Under the terms of the agreement, the manufacturing company will provide the US Army with 624 robots, training and maintenance equipment. According to the plan, the full order will be received by the end of 2024. WMUT is expected to relieve fighters from the extra load and increase their productivity, as they no longer have to carry heavy loads on their own backs. Corner shot. People whose work involves protecting the law and using weapons are well aware that the most dangerous situations arise when the enemy is around the corner. While trying to take a look and assess the situation, the officer becomes an easy target. The first weapon with a bent barrel that allows you to shoot from around the corner appeared in the early 20th century. And of course, 100 years later, it looks quite different. This is corner shot, a weapon invented by the Israeli inventor Amos Golan. He's a lieutenant colonel in the Israeli army, so he knows more than anyone how important security is. Corner shot is made up of two parts that form a 63-degree angle. The turning part has a gun and a video camera. You can also attach a gun sight, a silencer, or a flame arrestor to it. On the other part, which the person holds in their hands, there's a power supply unit and, most importantly, a display that transmits color images from the camera. The weapon can be rotated so that the shooter can look not only around the corner, but also, for example, down or up from a window. Lifeguard. We have to admit that it's not easy to be fully protected in today's world. Anything can happen at any time, and even places that are safe at first sight can easily become a death trap. It is not possible to carry weapons for self-defense anywhere and any time, largely because they're bulky in size. That's why the minigun Lifeguard was created. It was developed by the American company Trailblazer Firearms. It's one of the smallest personal weapons in the world. When folded, the pistol is a simple rectangular box that looks like a regular business accessory. It's no larger than a business card storage box. This makes the Lifeguard a gun that's not suspicious and fits even in your jeans pocket. Smart guns. In some countries, citizens have the right to possess and carry weapons. Obviously, this can lead to some problems. You can't always keep your weapons with you, and this means that it can fall into the hands of others and cause harm. Fortunately today, more and more guns are equipped with smart technology. The first weapon of this kind appeared about 50 years ago. It was a revolver with a magnet in its grip. It could only be fired when it was in the hands of the owner with the magnetic ring. Since then, technology has advanced a lot. A variety of companies are working on smart pistols. For example, there are guns that require a PIN code from the user, both digital and tactile. There are pistols with built-in recognition systems that can only be fired by people wearing a special bracelet. And finally, there are guns that use optical sensors to recognize a person's biometric data. Of course, this can only be used by the owner.